that time again. We're back with the Primetime Alberta Sports Show. I'm your host, Andrew Greenall. Tonight we're speaking with a special lady. She's 12 years old. She beat out 14 boys for a position on the U13AA Airdrie Lightning. Stay tuned for this in-depth interview with her, her coach, her mom and dad. Don't go away. Guys, welcome to the show. It's so glad to see all of you. Oh, sorry, Alexis. I have you covered by some. Give me a sec. There we go. We can see you now. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, thanks.
Great. Awesome. You know, I thank all of you for being here tonight. This is such an awesome opportunity to speak to a young lady that beat out 14 boys to play on a U13AA boys team. This is quite an impressive feat. You know, let's talk to the coach, Mr. Mason, sir. How did this all come about?
So we started up, we didn't know what was going to happen with COVID, and we started up, and last year we only had, I think, 13 goalies for two teams, two AA teams, and this year we went down to one AA team in Airdrie, and Alexis was one of the best showing goalies in the tryouts.
Wow. She beat out 14 boys. What stood out to you that encouraged you to pick up this 12-year-old girl?
Her consistency throughout the tryouts. We had 3 skill skates where they just participated in drills. They also had 2 of their own goalie evaluations that we went and watched. And then we got into games, and her consistency throughout it all was the thing that stuck out the most. Her technical skills are great. You can tell she's really worked at it for quite a few years, and she knows what's going on the ice. And one big thing that we really noticed right from the beginning was her attitude. She's always got a smile on her face. She's always happy. So you never have to worry about her getting too high or too low.
So it's true, teenage girls can smile.
They can.
So 14 boys, she made it. Is she the starting goalie, or is there more development that's going to come, or how does that look for her?
So we have 2 goalies. They'll split evenly throughout the year through games. We don't really name one and 2. They're 1A, 1B. So they'll we haven't decided who's starting the first game, but they will split evenly throughout the year.
That's awesome. So what does an average day look like for this U13AA team? Like, are they on the ice every day, every second day? How do you bring them together?
So through after tryouts ended, we started practicing 4 times a week. So we're practicing every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday right now, and then every odd Wednesday and every even Friday. We are doing dryland once a week, and then actually coming up this weekend on Sunday is our first exhibition game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's super exciting that we actually get to play some games. It's been a little difficult keeping the kids engaged through just practicing 4 times a week.
Yeah,
but
no
something
kidding.
we think we've done well, and we've been able to develop a lot of skill, individual skill for both players and goalies so far.
Yeah. Are you doing anything special with your goalies? Do you have anybody coming out helping them, or is it like, I'm not sure, Mason, are you a goalie yourself, or?
I am not a goalie. My goalie knowledge is very, very limited from what I've learned from other coaches. One of the coaches on our staff is a goalie himself. He's trained at World Pro Goaltending. And then we have another guy who's our goalie consultant. He also worked at World Pro and went there for many years, played midget AAA junior, and he's coming out about twice a week right now to help out. So they do have some guidance. And then there's also some additional sessions at Explosive Edge in Airdrie for the goalies that they can go to on Monday nights, starting tonight.
And that's something that I'm assuming the association is covering for the goalies, like most associations? Yeah,
absolutely.
So assuming the games do go forward this year, hopefully, crossing our fingers, what would it look like for the Lightning? Are you guys a travel team? Where do we travel? What do we do for the U13AA?
Yeah, so with COVID this year, they've had to change it up, and we will only play against 5 other teams. So we will play one team 4 times in 2 weekends, and then we will practice for 2 weeks on our own and essentially isolate from other teams. And then we would play the next team 4 times in 2 weeks, and then same thing. So we play 5 teams, 20 games. That has us traveling to Okotoks for the first 10 games with exhibition, And then we will travel to Chestermere, Strathmore, and Foothills, which is primarily Blackie. Typically, the league consists with teams as far north as Ponoka, as Medicine Hat. We have Lethbridge, Tabor, and Cranbrook has been in the league in the past, but because of COVID, they won't be this year.
Yeah, that's a little frustrating, a little hard to swallow too. It's even as a hockey parent myself, it's really driving on me that there's no real hockey. It's based on development. With that said, do you think development's going to hinder, or do you think it's going to actually excel the players this year?
Individual skill development is going to excel this year because we have so much more time to practice. With fewer games played, you're able to see what they need to work on and actually put practice plans together to work on that, and more practice plans. Last year, we only practiced twice a week, same level, the U13AA, and some weeks 3 times. But now with having 4 practices pretty much every second week, we have lots of time to work on those individual skills and help them develop those to move them into games.
That's awesome. That's good to hear that there's, at least you guys are taking the right foot forward and moving with these players and keeping their development up and keeping them going. Mason, I appreciate your time. I don't want to take much more of it. I know you have to run. Thanks very much. Have fun tonight. Don't hit any players in the head. Apparently you're not allowed to do that. But we thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no worries, man. We appreciate it. So everyone, when we come back, we're going to be joined by Alexis, her mom and dad, and we'll see how this young 12-year-old girl has taken over the goalie posts for the Airdrie Lightning U13AA team. Stick with us, won't you? Back, everybody. Thanks very much for joining us tonight on Alberta Primetime Sports Show. We're now joined by Alexis, her mom and dad, Kim and Jason. Guys, this has got to be so exciting for you, having Alexis beat out 14 boys for a position on the U13AA Airdrie Lightning. How do you guys feel about this?
It was pretty surreal.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Pretty happy, pretty proud of her.
It was a long 3-week tryout process.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. It sounds like it would have been a real painstaker. Like being a goalie parent, I'm assuming you guys were like,
pretty much.
Alexis, at the young age that she is, she started playing when she was 5 years old. How did that lead up? What happened? Did she just walk up to you guys one day and say, listen, I want to play goalie, mom and dad, hook me up?
Well, I grew up as a forward. I knew nothing about goaltending. But right from the start, she was a really good skater, but always liked hanging around the net. So it was real frustrating for me because I'm like, take the puck and go score, like take the puck, skate down the ice. But she would always pass it up, just always hang around the net. And after a couple of years of this, it kind of clicked in, and then they started rotating, goalies for a couple of years, and she'd always put her hand up, volunteered to be goalie, and I didn't want to admit it, but it's like, she's actually pretty good at this goalie thing. And then she'd go out to be a player again, and there she would be hanging around the net, diving in the crease, trying to stop the puck. So it was just in her mindset, just very defensive, which is totally opposite of myself. But at the end of the day, it looked like that's what she really wanted to do. So when it came down to second year novice, I bought her first set of pads, and there they are, the black pads that you're showing.
Yeah.
And then obviously we got into a lot of the training side. So I really knew nothing about goaltending, and my wife knew absolutely nothing about goaltending. And she's really taken on the training side with Alexis and dealing with many different coaches, different goalie agencies. They've all been excellent. And so my wife here's been the one kind of spearheading her development on the side, which is a very key component to her success right now.
That's awesome to hear. Kim, how do you feel about having a goalie in the family? Is goalie's fairly expensive?
Oh, So expensive. I had always been.
And she's a girl.
And she's a girl to top it all off. No, it's all very, very much worth it. It's so, we're just so proud of her, and it's so satisfying to see her doing so well at such a young age. And we're just so excited to see where she will be in the next, 2, 3, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
this here's the princess, Miss Alexis. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you've just heard what your mom and dad had to say. How does it feel to have their support?
It feels amazing. They're there for me all the time. They always push me to my limits.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think of Coach Mason? Just wondering.
Oh, best coach ever.
Best coach ever? Really? We should bring him back on the show and see how many brownie points that got you.
Yeah.
So, Alexis, you started playing when you were 5 years old. Your mom and dad said that you gravitated to the net. Goalies, Alexis, are very special. So what made you think that you were a goalie? Did you just, I want to be a goalie one morning and tell us?
Well, like my dad, I always just loved to be around the net no matter what. I would always play defense. I hated being up in the play. I just loved being defense. That's just kind of how it clicked on. One day, my dad bought me my first set of pads, and I was like, I'm actually going to be a goalie now. And I was so excited, and I was just pumped, and I'd never regret my decision from that day.
That's awesome. So 12 years old now, started playing when you were 5. You always wanted to volunteer. And in one of the things that I see here that I asked your parents about, you said that it drove your parents nuts every time you would raise your hand to want to play net. Did they cringe and go, oh my gosh?
Yeah, never gave the other people on my team an opportunity to be in the net. It would always just be me.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So as a goalie, you obviously have to do special things. We were talking with your coach earlier, Coach Mason. We were talking with your mom and dad. What are you doing to keep up with your development?
I have a lot of different lessons. I have Friday morning academies with GDI that I'm really loving. And I'm now starting to do lessons at Evolution goaltending.
Nice.
And I have 3-on-3 every Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents throw in some lessons a few times a month. And it's
cool.
Great.
So one of the things I found out about you is you're actually attending Global Sports Academy. How do you, are you on the ice every day with them? Is it just every second day?
It is usually on either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be every second day.
Nice. And is there a favorite goalie coach you have there?
There aren't really any specific goalie coaches, but it's more it's mostly just games and stuff, and it's really fun, and it helps with my gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the people that I do it with are so nice, and I just love it.
Awesome. So let's start way back when you were a little novice player, now U7. You grew up playing boys hockey most of your life, correct?
Yes, we always played against boys, but I played on a girls' team.
Oh, who did you play for?
The GHC Calgary Inferno.
Nice. How did you like that?
It was really good. I loved playing girls back then.
So then, if you enjoyed playing girls back then, what's the big jump? What made you go, I'm done with these girls and I want to play boys? Or was it just, I want to try out, see if I make it?
Well, I really wanted to see if playing boys would help with my development, which it really has. And playing last year as the only girls team in the HSL, I got a bunch of shots, and I helped a lot with my development. And this year I just decided to maybe try out for a boys team, and just to see if I know that boys commitment level is a lot higher than girls can be sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it was really fun just to see some of the hardest shots that I've ever seen before. And just to see their compete level was amazing.
So who do you think's better, boys or girls?
Uh-oh.
Definitely.
Girls?
Boy.
Yeah? Boys. Boys are better?
Yeah.
Wow. Oof.
You're gonna get it.
Don't tell your friends to watch this show after the. Whoa. So tell me, Alexis, I understand that you were invited to play with Team West Can, which is part of a group based out of Okotoks, where they go out, they scout players, and they invite you to their camp, and you get the opportunity to either play in local tournaments here in Canada, or you get to play abroad, so in Europe or in the US. Tell me how this came about.
James has always been a big fan of me, and one year he just came and emailed my mom and told her that they need me to play on their West Can team. It was a very exciting moment for me.
Was it?
Yeah, I couldn't wait.
How did mom do it? Did she just burst into the bedroom doors and goes, "Oh my God, you got an invite"? Or how did it happen? Did she pick you up at school? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure that I just came home from school one day and she said, "Lex, guess what? Lawrence wants you on their West Can team." And I was so happy. Nice.
Have you watched many of the James Lawrence's program? Have you seen what the Spartan do?
Yes. He posts stuff on his Instagram a lot about West Can.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, I'm really excited to go to Nashville, Minnesota, because we missed out this year because of COVID.
Oh, that's a bummer. But I bet it saved mom and dad a lot of money.
Yeah.
Talking about money, mom and dad, obviously Alexis is very mature for her age. She's obviously got her head on straight, even though she's a goalie. You know, I'm still struggling with that. Goalies are a little wacko. But financially, have you guys had to take out a second mortgage on your property yet? Or?
Well, and it's amazing because I didn't realize what it was going to cost. And it's not the equipment. Like, that's really not the big expenditure. The big expenditure is the training. And I don't want to give her too much training. She'll tell me. My wife over here will push her even further, but I could have a break once in a while. So it's really up to Alexis how much additional training she wants. But yeah, we only have the one daughter, one child. So, you know, some people have 2 or 3 kids in hockey. We just have the one. So I'm willing to, as long as she's trying and it's all I care about, I will invest whatever I can into her.
You know, that's good to hear. It's good to hear the parents. Well, I try to invest as much as I can into my kid, but I tell you, when you go to Toronto for hockey, it's pretty expensive.
Oh, it gets up.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Kim, Jason, and Alexis about her road to hopefully Team Canada. Stick with us, and we'll be right back. How's it going, Mason?
Doing great.
Yeah, she didn't know you. She didn't know that you probably heard that, eh?
That was a good answer.
Hey, so when we come back, Alexis, we're going to ask you some more questions about where you want to be in a few years from now. Go through some of this other cool stuff that you have. Okay? So give me a sec. Better. Where is it? There we go. Welcome back to the show. We're still here with Kim, Jason, and Alexis. It's been an interesting conversation so far. We've been talking with her parents about the cost and how goalies perform. And we asked Alexis that really difficult question of who's better, boys or girls, and she said boys. So interesting fact, boys do actually participate in more hockey than girls, and as they grow up, they have more expectations on them of trying to get into NCAA or even trying to get into the club or playing junior hockey. So with that said, let's ask Alexis, where do you want to be? Like, you're only in grade 6? 7. So you got a few more years left, but where do you want to be for grade 12? Where do you see yourself for college or university?
Hopefully going to a good university with like a good NCAA team, and yeah.
That's it? Just an NCAA? You don't want to play for Team Canada?
And then after that, if there is a women's professional team, I'd like to play on that, or even Team Canada.
You know, in one of the photos, I believe you're actually shaking hands or you're standing beside one of Team Canada's most excellent goalies that ever played for us. But I can't remember if we actually uploaded it to the program. But anyway.
I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. I knew we had it.
Yeah.
Who do you idolize, Alexis? Who's your favorite hockey player, male or female?
Marc-Andre Fleury.
How come?
He does anything he needs to do to stop the puck, and he's such an amazing teammate.
Have you got to train with him? Have you seen him?
No, sadly.
No? I'll give you a little tip. Go to Kelowna. He's there during the spring and summer training. But I didn't tell you that. Mom, Dad, obviously, if your daughter has sights on going to an NCAA school, there's lots of things that need to come out of that. So, Alexis, do you study a lot? This is going to, your parents are listening. Do you actually do your homework? Do you study?
Yes.
You do?
I hate not doing homework. I hate getting in trouble.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She is an excellent student.
Is she? Maybe we should have got her teacher involved in this conversation.
Yeah, no, she's a great student. We don't usually have to worry about her or her grades or her schoolwork. She gets everything pretty much done at school. So
far, so good.
So far, so good. Yes.
Wow. Good job, Alexis. So, Alexis, what accomplishments have come through your years of playing goalie? What have you done to get where you are? Like, what accomplishments? Have you won big medals? What have you done?
Last year we didn't have very many. Never mind, I take that back. Last year we had the Champion Cup, and being the only girls team, you can imagine that our team wasn't as strong as most of the boys teams were. And surprisingly, for the Champion Cup, we came in second place when nobody thought we would. And we beat the team that we've never beat before for the semifinals, and we made it through to the finals. That was a very amazing moment.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. That is quite an accomplishment. That's better than me. I haven't really won much lately. Alexis, who is the most inspirational coach that you've had, even if it wasn't Coach Mason, but who was it that's encouraged you the most throughout your years of being a goalie or growing up?
Definitely my goalie coach, Cam.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one you visit on the weekends or during the week?
Every Friday morning.
Every Friday morning?
And whenever we do GDI lessons, my mom always tries to book me lessons with him.
Oh, I think somebody has a crush on Coach Cam.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
He's been really excellent with her. She trained a ton with him last year through the HSL. He works a lot with the computers. But she had trained with him prior to that as well. But then last year, that was her specific coach that she worked the most with. And then, we're trying to continue along with that. He really understands her and knows how to train her. He's really great.
So how many days a week do you guys share the responsibility of getting her to school on time or taking her to the early morning practice? Or is it kind of like, okay, Jason, get out of bed. It's way too cold.
It's pretty much
Mom
me.
does it. Wow.
It's pretty much
I work way down south, so that's my excuse.
Oh, geez.
a little more flexible with that schedule.
So when she was little, Jason, did you get the opportunity to help coach her or be on the ice with her?
Yeah, definitely. I never wanted to be a head coach. Like my dad coached me for my first 10 years of hockey, but I just wanted to kind of take a role where I could keep an eye on her when I'm on the ice. So I was assistant coach for a few years, and then it got to the point where she wouldn't listen to me at all. So I said, okay, I'm out of here. So she listens very well to everybody else. But on the ice, no matter what I said, it wasn't right. So I just said, okay, best I'm on.
It happens to all of us parents. It's
Yeah.
okay, buddy. I feel your pain. That's why I shipped my daughter off to Toronto.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, she's very attentive and listens well, just not to me on the ice. So
does she listen to you, Kim?
Well, I'm not a hockey. I have no hockey background whatsoever, so I don't really have much input in that department.
Oh, okay.
In general, she listens pretty well, though, I would say. At home, she's okay.
Alexis, take us through a pre-game ritual that you would do. Like Coach Mason said, you guys have a game coming up this weekend. So what's your pre-game ritual? What do you do?
So I get up and my mom likes to make me an omelet for breakfast with some fruit and vegetables.
What type of omelet?
Just cheese
Mm.
and pepper. That's all I like on my omelets.
So you get a cheese omelet in the morning. Then what do we do? Do you go for a run?
A protein smoothie.
Mm.
And then I'd go for like about a half an hour run on the treadmill.
And then you show up to the game.
And then I do my reaction balls, and my mom would, if it's later at night, my mom would make me some pasta for dinner, and then go to the game.
So Alexis, just between me and you, pretend your mom and dad aren't here. Who's the better cook? Your mom or dad?
My dad. My mom doesn't know how to cook for her life.
Whoa.
She's not that bad.
I guess we could say goodbye to that morning breakfast of eggs, omelet, and cheese. Alexis, we've talked a lot about your past growing up, how you've accomplished a few things. As a female goalie playing on a boys team, do the boys pick on you at all, or do they even know that you're a girl when you're on the ice? Do they see the ponytail?
I hang out with all of the boys a lot, and we're really close friends. So they're very supportive. They never make fun of me. We always like to joke around. It's so much fun.
That's awesome. Has anybody tried to sniper one through your helmet, right through the forehead?
A lot of people.
A lot of people. Oh, jeez. Gotta watch out for that. You gotta have reflexes like Andre Fleury. I had one question and it just totally blew me away with that answer, but now I can't remember what it was. So pre-game ritual, we show up, throw the ball. If you're the starting goalie, what type of thing do you do on the ice to get your crease ready?
I like to stretch it out a lot. I would usually do a couple pattern movements in my crease, and then I take some shots from the players to get me warmed up, and then I'd stretch some more to make sure that I'm ready.
Again, much better than what I do. I usually just show up with a cup of Diet Pepsi, and I sit on the bench and I wait for my name to be called. It's the only play to play senior hockey. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Jason feels for me, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Alexis, I thank you very much for being on the show. Really appreciate your time. Kim, Jason, I appreciate your guys' time as well. You know, obviously this young lady has a big future ahead of her. It's phenomenal that someone with her age and just like looking at some of these pictures, she's been around the block with training. She's got, being invited by WestCan, which is one of the top elite groups here in Western Canada, to be able to go out and see this type of play. Alexis, I'm so flabbergasted when I found out that a 12-year-old girl beat out 16. I'm just noting here, it was 16 boys in tryouts to make this. So, congratulations, young lady. You did very well. I hope you make all the other young ladies proud. and kick some butt out there. And best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you guys all later.
Can I make one more shout out?
Sure, go ahead.
There's been a ton of people that have pushed her along. I just want to say thank you to Corey and Greg. They've been real instrumental in her development, in her character especially, and they really were a big step in taking her to that next level. So I just want to say thanks to them.
Oh, definitely. We'll edit that out.
Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. You know, Alexis, most girls don't get to where they're at unless they do what you're doing, which is trying hard. You've obviously devoted yourself to the game of hockey, you know, and as a scout myself and as an advisor myself, I just got to say it'll be phenomenal watching you play against these boys at this high level for your age. You know, this is, you know, quite an accomplishment. Good job. Congratulations, young lady. Maybe we'll do a follow-up in a couple months, see where you're at. Hopefully we get some hockey, and hopefully we'll be able to see you in the future. So Alexis, thanks very much for being with us. Mom, Dad, thank you so much for being here. When we come back, just some closing words, and see everybody next week. 31.